coming. All right, you're out. It's only 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, but the temperature, it's just smoking hot, sweat's pouring out of us. It's exhausting work. It's exhausting, and we haven't even got to the coastline yet.
But they're clear of the swamp. The beach rolls into view, and with it, the promise of open water. The coastline is covered in saltwater crocodiles, and beyond them, the sea. Jase and Simon leave the quad bikes behind and launch into the water towards the Great Barrier Reef and away from the relative safety of dry land. A small boat like this can only travel the route to the island in calm conditions. Today, luck is on their side.
So you can imagine what it would have been like back in 1871, you know, with the big tall ships cruising along that coastline. I reckon they'd have a better ride than we were having, but it would have been awesome.
So the island looms into view. My first thought is, this island looks a bit weird. It's with this weird vegetation on it.
All these hydrographic surveyors that came out to the Queensland coast would plant on these islands particular plants that might survive, and if a shipwreck occurred there and they landed on the island, they'd have food. They planted coconut trees, not only for the coconuts one day that would feed people, but also as sighting things, because if you've got a pretty nondescript island and suddenly you've got a tall coconut palm on it, it could be used as a nautical reference mark. Heaven knows why they planted sisal on Morris Island, because sisal hemp, you make rope out of it, and okay, you get wrecked on the island, what are you going to do? Sit around and make rope and hang yourself?
Okay, whatever the reason why they did it, now it's infested the island and it is nasty. It's got these spikes everywhere, and they are sharp.
So it's this cactus-looking thing, and on the ends of every single leaf, there is a needle point, and I you not, it is just like a hypodermic needle. So I'm thinking, oh no, are we really going looking for stuff in that? It's evil.
Grab all the gear out, we'll set up a bit of a base camp, because that's where we're going to put our swags out, and we're going to start looking for what was left here back in 1871.
Where's your time capsule?
Just over there.
Ah, it's all too stressful. Stress of it all.
And it's a beautiful looking place. You gotta draw it in. All the beauty of this place, you know, the water's nice and clean, and the reef, and there's sand, you know, these big sand spits, and then the island. You got this island. The island from a distance, as it starts to, you get closer and closer, it looks awesome. It's a tropical island.
What are we looking for?
We're gonna look for some brick pillars, mate.
You got an accurate mark on them, or we what?
No, we haven't got a lot of information on them.
Oh, goody.
We're just gonna have to look, mate. It's not a real big island.
Bloody big enough!
There's that many cyclones been through this area, and you know, the shape of a sand island, that changes all the time. You know, tide, wind, cyclone. The thing that I had in the back of my head was that sisal hemp actually held the island together. So it probably didn't change as much as I'm hoping it hasn't changed much at all.
These islands would have suffered in cyclones, and erosion would occur, and you get the southeast trades that blow you horizontal there at certain months of the year. Now that the sisal's there, of course, nothing much is moving on top.
Have we got about as much chance of finding this as growing a pair of wings and flying out of here?
So all we've got to go with is a picture. Someone painted a picture.
Oh, it'll be easy then.
So what they did was they put these brick pillars, they're red brick. They made these brick pillars and they mounted a telescope on it. They came a long way to get here too.
What year were they plonked here?
1871, they built these brick pillars.
1871. So that was
Over 150 years ago.
50 years ago, basically.
Yeah. More than likely.
It's buried under sisal hemp.
It could be. Lucky I brought the machete.
Did you bring your bobcat?
And the bobcat.
Jase thinks I'm mad wanting an excavator here. He's doable.
All right, well, let's
Go fishing instead?
let's go see what we can find. What do you reckon?
Let's go.
It's time to get to work and chop some weeds.
We ducked in a few different spots looking where we thought it might be and hacking and chopping and getting prickled up and we're sweating and it's just horrible. We looked for ages and ages.